Welcome to STEM Careers, where we learn how experts turn their curiosities into discoveries in order to understand and make the world a better place. Today we will meet a geologist.
My name's Larry Krissek. I'm a geologist. Geologists study the Earth in all of its different forms. In my case, I study mud and sand.
Mud and sand? Now that's a career! But there's so much more. Geologists do so many important things in the world, such as learning about and predicting the Earth's behavior, finding natural resources that we all depend on, and safeguarding the environment. And yes, they spend most of their time with rocks and minerals of all varieties, such as sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, igneous rock, and even... Wait, not that kind of rock.
The kind of work that I do and that my colleagues do, we're trying to reconstruct the history of the Earth. And in our case, it's the history of one particular part of the Earth, which is the oceans and their contribution to the climate system.
From the seafloor to mountains, volcanoes, and even glaciers, geologists seek to uncover the Earth's secrets by learning more about its history. In fact, geologists can use rocks like time machines and can tell so many things just by looking at them.
If I'm out walking around or I'm driving down the highway and there are some rocks alongside the road, the first thing I do is try to see what kinds of colors and patterns and layers are there. A lot of it is pattern recognition. Through experience, through training, you learn that there are certain patterns that tell you that it's this kind of rock or that kind of rock. It's dangerous to ride down the highway with a geologist. My favorite part about my job is being able to go out and work in the field.
Sometimes, geologists face questions or problems that can't be answered from an office, so they leave their labs behind and go out into the world. This fieldwork allows them to directly observe and study the Earth, helping them come up with creative solutions to scientific challenges.
We're trying to reconstruct events in the past. We have to do it like detectives.
Did he just say detectives?
We have to do it like detectives.
Yep, he just said detectives. This is because geologists investigate and solve mysteries about the Earth. They search for clues hidden in rocks, soils, and landscapes.
We go out in various ways, we collect the information that will help us, and then we make our interpretation as best we can on that data right now. In my case, that might be going out on land and working in mountains, measuring sections of sedimentary rock up the side of a mountain and taking samples. But a lot of my work has also been based on ships, where we're taking cylinders of sediment or rock out of the seafloor.
Just like detectives use special tools to gather evidence, geologists use a drill to collect samples from deep inside the Earth. These samples are called a geological core and are a cylinder shape. From these core samples, geologists can learn how old the rocks are, what they are made of, and so many other important clues about the timeline of geological events in that area.
I don't get to see it until it's been sliced in half lengthwise and opened up like the pages on a book. And then we take one half of that and we set it aside and save it untouched for as long as possible. And then we do our work on the other side. We'll be looking at the color of the sediment, we'll be looking for patterns of layering. We'll take little bits out and look at what it's actually made of, whether it's little tiny fossils or grains of sand from on land or things like that. That's the basic data that we then use to construct a history of what was going on over whatever that time interval is that's represented by that core.
By learning about the geological history of an area, geologists play an important part in making decisions on what should be done in the future, helping us all to be wise guardians of the Earth. With so much to learn and discover, it sounds like being a geologist is full of adventure.
There can be a lot of adventure to it, yes, depending on where you're working. We were working on this drilling ship off of southeast Greenland. There was a miscalculation on the weather forecast, and we knew that there was a storm coming, but we didn't expect it to get as bad as it was, and it reached hurricane strength. I've also spent a fair amount of time in Antarctica on projects. Lots of people like penguins. The little ones, the Adelie penguins and the like, they're very active and you'll never get close to them because they'll run away. But emperor penguins, the taller ones, they're not like that. And you can sit down 20 yards away from them. If you sit still, they will come to you. So I had one come up and nip at my parka. Amazing experience.
From the oceans to Antarctica, a career in geology leaves an impact on the world for the greater good. So go and see what you can dig up, leave no stone unturned, and most importantly, rock on.
In trying to look from the past to where I am now, I'm sure that person had no idea about any of this. I had never been to sea on a ship. I had clearly never been to Antarctica. Had some experience camping, but in no conditions that were anything like this. It's been a wonderful journey. It reaches the point where it's not a job, it's your life. I would say that most of my colleagues are like this. We do this long enough that it just becomes part of who we are. And I think that's because we really enjoy what we do.
So as you can see, a career in geology can be incredibly fulfilling, adventurous, and lead to many valuable discoveries in the world. So as you go on walks or drive in your car, take a look at the rock formations around you and see what stories they are trying to tell you. And the most important thing,
I like to say that a bad day in the field beats a good day in the office, as long as it's followed by ice cream.